We're coming into a pretty bad year. Everyone is not able to hold down a full-time job. You need some extra cash, start up a side hustle and everything. You're researching and you find out that Amazon pallet reselling is where it's at. And I'm telling you guys right now, stay away because it is not that easy and you have to go through unethical means in order to turn a profit in this business. And I'm going to give you a breakdown of my $1,650 investment in my first pallet, which is a bulk electronics pallet. And I'll give you a breakdown, so stick around, guys. All right, guys, so in this part, we're going to break down the pallet that I bought, which is a bulk electronics pallet, and I paid for $1,650. As you can see here, I just put all the items that are noteworthy. The rest I didn't put on here because a lot of it's garbage. The rest of it were vacuum cleaners, which I didn't bother considering putting on the list because I ended up donating them. I actually connected with a few people on Reddit that needed a vacuum cleaner. I said, save your money, link up with me, grab anyone you want, because the rest of it I'm going to be donating it to the local Salvation Army here anyways. So this is all the noteworthy items that you're seeing right now, but the one that really stuck out when I was trying to shop for a pallet, because the way these pallets are set up in my liquidation center over here is that 3 of the 4 sides on the pallet is covered with cardboard, so they only front face one part of the actual pallet. And the way that these Amazon warehouse people that are repackaging or restacking the pallets is that they're putting all the best items front facing. So that's pretty much 80 to 90% of your guesswork right there. From my experience, or from my only experience, one of the items ended up being a Philips Series 4400. So keep that in mind. 4400 series was supposed to be like some type of espresso coffee maker here. And at the time, it was retailing for about $1,250. So on sale, it's probably going to be about $1,000. So I might be able to sell this for $850, $900 if I'm lucky, if I'm the only one. So the guy at the warehouse confirmed that there was an item in the box and it looked brand new. So he gave me that kind of that confidence to buy, but he did mention that things were going to go missing. Just get used to it. That's part of the business. Don't be surprised. I went for it anyways, guys. So when it finally arrived and came, and that was the first time I grabbed, just to break it down, just to confirm, I did confirm that it was a used item. And as I was troubleshooting it, it was like a few days later when I was trying to look at the SKU, I noticed that the model that I have was different from the 4400 series. And I'm like, what? The image is not adding up here. And I realized that the item that was actually in the box was a 3300 series. So that dropped from being a potential $900 resale value down to $450, almost cutting it in half. This pallet was looking to be pretty tough to break even or even turn a profit. So that's my experience with the bulk electronics. Guys, to stick around, I'm going to explain how you can turn any of these type of pallets into a profitable pallet, but it's through unethical means. So just stick around, guys. All right, for this next point, we're going to be talking about timing the market. When I bought mine, it was the end of the spring season. It had a lot of vacuum cleaners, which I did not care for, which I'm going to know for next time if I'm going to be buying something, it's going to be in a better season. And what I'm telling you guys is that if you're going to be buying stuff, we know a lot of stuff on Amazon, Temu, a lot of the online retailers are pushing a lot of garbage and private label stuff. Your pallets are going to be full of generic brand products. So you want the best of the best products that you can get. And the best time to do that is learning when to time the market. This is not tested, not true yet. I haven't confirmed this type of strategy. But if you're going to buy stuff, wait for back to school, Black Friday, Father's Day if you want power tools and things like that. What else? Boxing Day or Boxing Weeks if you're up here in Canada. Wait for these seasons to come through. And then when you go to these warehouses and start placing your orders on these pallets, pay attention to the resellers that are there that have been doing this for a lot longer than you. If they are fighting you on these pallets, that they're trying to clear out the whole entire fleet of a shipment, then you know that timing the market is very important. So if you're going to get into this space, double check that. Wait for these type of retail selling trends, these shopping seasons. Wait for that. Then jump in and then assess if this is going to be a right business for you. All right. The next point we're going to talk about is the type of clientele that Amazon controls. You're one of them. If you buy on Amazon, But there's a particular group of clients who take advantage of the system that Amazon has built in place. Like their AI chatbots when it comes to generating some type of return labels and everything like that. They have some pretty, very easy return policies on all their products as if you're dealing through Amazon's direct customer service. And I want you guys to understand that since Amazon has a very easy return policy, you just have to know how to navigate through their online customer support portal. Some of these people make it their business to go through that system to take advantage of the Amazon platform. But what that means for us resellers is that we're going to get a lot of garbage on these Amazon pallets. So understand where all this junk is coming from. But this is a very important point that I'm going to make later on for us resellers as to how to guarantee our profits unethically. So again, I have to remind you, whatever I'm about to share about that selling technique or that selling strategy, it's unethical. But I want to share it to you guys anyways. So stick around. All right, so for this next point we're going to be talking about is space and for your inventory, okay? The average person today that lives in the GTA lives in a 500 to 600 square feet, one bedroom apartment. And you're probably thinking that you want to get in and just buy one single pallet and just see where it takes you from there. Guys, I'm gonna kill that idea for you right now. Buying one single pallet and hoping you can sell through enough in order to break even to buy a second pallet, that's not going to happen. Based on what I'm seeing here, you need on average about 4 pallets on rotation in order to sell through all the fast ticketed items to get back that money, but then you got to roll into the next pallet while the other slower items are going to sell on the back end. So think about that. My one single pallet, just the 6 or 7 vacuum cleaners that's in the box, doesn't even fit in my car, like my car trunk space. That's how much space it takes up. And that's just 6 to 7 items. My pallet had 30 items, varying from like Instant Pots and everything to coffee makers to a snow shoveler. I don't know how that got in there and everything. But these are the type of items that I have on a single pallet. And I'm telling you guys need about 4 pallets on rotation to keep this business going. So if you're going to consider doing this, make sure that you have the space or you're willing to sacrifice the space that you have in your own place to run this business. So keep that in mind. All right, guys, for this point, we're going to be talking about your time commitment. I know we're going to get into the whole strategy about making money or guaranteeing profits, but just stick around. Just hold on, guys. I got to share this point here. When it comes to doing this business, you have to commit, from my experience, minimum of 20 hours a week. And this is where I came to this logic. My first pallet, it's a bulk electronics, okay? You're going to be able to recognize certain items and everything. Like there's a lot of hot ticket items. Those things are going to get processed very easy. But for the most part, what you're going to have to do is that you have to confirm if every single item is actually working. If it's used, you have to make sure it's actually working if it's used. If it's missing parts, you got to make sure it's still used without the missing parts. There's so many things you have to confirm as you're breaking down this pallet. And then in order to make sure that it's actually working, you got to troubleshoot. And how you're going to troubleshoot that? You're going to double check the user manual. Is the user manual inside the box, or do you have to download it from the actual website? And if you're going to download it from the website, usually these user manuals, they pretty much compress several models into one user manual. So it's not really easy to follow along and quickly find what you're looking for in order to troubleshoot these units. So there's all that time being consumed in terms of processing just the pallet. And let's just say that it takes you about 30 minutes per item. Based on my one single pallet, it's going to take about 15 hours just to process 30 items. Hopefully I'm doing my math right. So 15 hours committed to just to processing the actual items, to making sure that each and every single item is even working. I'm not even including the time where you have to take pictures, take a video recording, because that's what Facebook is favoring right now in terms of the listings. Then you have to make the title, then the product description, and then post. Right? And then there's all those communications you have to do with you and the potential client that wants to buy the item and everything. And then there's you having to go down to the warehouse maybe once a week to double check the pallets to see what's actually good or not. There's so much time invested that's needed for this business that 20 hours a week is just a bare minimum. On top of you working full time somewhere, on top of your social life, if you're going to give some of that up, just know that there's a huge time commitment that's needed for this type of business. So please keep that in mind if you're going to get into this space of selling Amazon pallets. All right, guys, if you got to this point of the video, I thank you guys for sticking around, and it's about pretty much guaranteeing your profits on your Amazon pallets. Again, this is a strategy that I do not use myself. I do not recommend anyone else doing it, but if you guys need to know, which I'm trying to share this type of strategy and just for educational purposes, the strategy is, I want you guys to read in between the lines because I'm not going to tell you straight out, okay? The way that Amazon or the Amazon resellers out there are guaranteeing their profits is that it's the same people who take advantage of the Amazon customer service right now in terms of their easy return policies. So connect the two. The reseller, they go and they shop around for a pallet. They look at a pallet to see there's one or two, even like a few items in there that are high ticketed items, okay? These high ticket items will either guarantee their break even point or maybe turn a profit. As long as they see that it's a good pallet, they're buying it. They bring it back, they process it, and then they swap with Amazon, and they manage to attain a brand new item of that product that they're trying to sell on Amazon Facebook Marketplace, on Facebook Marketplace, and they claim it as an open box, but they don't have the box. That's the strategy. And the way that this market's going, this is my prediction, that for the next probably a year or 2 years, that's probably the window that's remaining. We already know that Amazon is pretty much flooding the market with generic products and everything because they're trying to maximize their profits. We're going to see that the Amazon pallets are going to continue to go up in price, but the quality of products that's in every single pallet is going to continue going down, which means it's going to make it a lot harder for honest resellers to actually turn a profit in this business. So you guys still want to get into this and all that stuff, I just shared with you guys the actual strategy. Again, I don't recommend it, but that's how you're guaranteeing your profits. All right, guys, if you guys made it to this part of the video and everything, we are just going to summarize that if you got 20 hours a week, you got the space to turn over 4 pallets nonstop, right? And you have an opportunist type of mentality in order to pretty much use that unethical strategy to guarantee profits, then by all means, this is for you. But for the rest of you who are looking for a way to earn a side hustle income, stick around. I ask you guys to subscribe, hit that notification bell, like this video, or comment any type of questions you have down below. And just stick around because I'm going to be building up my portfolio. This is not my main thing. My main income that I'm generating is going to be from my real estate portfolio down in the US. I'm going to be sharing that as well, but there's going to be other things I'm going to be sharing for the average person for them to take advantage of. So if you guys like this, stick around and I'll see you guys on the other side.